How often do we stop and ponder the ripple effect of heat waves on our daily lives? How does a surge in temperature influence not only our immediate comfort, but also our energy systems, our city planning, and even our pocketbooks? The answer is more often and more profoundly than most of us realize. In recent times, energy experts have sounded the alarm about the vulnerability of the US electric grid. It appears it wasn't designed to withstand the impacts of climate change, leading to potential power outages in the coming months and years. As the mercury rises and heat waves become more frequent, our energy infrastructure is put under immense strain. Despite this looming threat, many grid operators are not factoring in climate change projections in their planning, making the grid even more susceptible to failure. This vulnerability is not just an inconvenience, it's a potential crisis. Supply and demand issues exacerbated by drought and the retirement of coal power plants have placed regions like Texas and California at elevated risk of blackouts. And while renewable energy sources like wind and solar are gaining momentum, integrating them into the grid presents its own set of challenges. As we grapple with these systemic issues, we also need to consider the impact on individual households. With energy markets deregulated in over 20 states, families are trying to predict their future energy bills. A wrong decision could cost them hundreds of dollars. The recent volatility in energy prices, driven by factors like the reopening of the US economy and of course heat waves, has made these choices even more difficult. But it's not all doom and gloom. Innovative solutions are emerging. Some communities like Bronzeville in Chicago are implementing microgrids to ensure a reliable power supply during grid failures. Urban waterfront development in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. is being used to mitigate the impacts of climate change by offering accessible green spaces like public beaches and parks. So, as we navigate these turbulent times, remember that heat waves are not just about the discomfort of a sweltering summer day. They're about the resilience of our power grid, the volatility of our energy bills, and the innovative solutions that are emerging in response to these challenges. In conclusion, heat waves are more than a weather phenomenon. They're a call to action for improved energy infrastructure, more thoughtful city planning, and increased individual awareness. As we face the realities of climate change, let's remember the power of innovation and adaptation in overcoming these challenges.